Now, there are, I think, 4 ways that we can continue to work on this process of gaining our sight, not continuing to be blind. And so I've kind of written out 4 things that I think will help us in our day-to-day work of seeing more clearly. The first is to remember, for Christians to remember, that being a Christian does not begin and does not end on Sunday morning. Sunday morning is the easiest day of the week to be a Christian. Sunday morning in church is the easiest time to be a Christian. But life does not begin and end for Christians on that day. In fact, I think probably sometimes it's harder to be a Christian at coffee hour, just after church, or on Monday morning when you go back to work with all those people that you left on Friday. That's the much, much more difficult time to be a Christian. So we have to remember it's a day-to-day process of growing, of learning, of trying and working and failing and getting up and trying again. The second, I think, way that we can sort of gain our sight is to get out and do something for someone else. To not just sit by ourselves, or with people that just agree with us or believe exactly the way we do, but to go out and to serve someone who needs our help. There are millions and millions and millions of people in this world who need us to go out and be the Christians that Jesus has called all of us to be. Jesus never said to any of his disciples, please, get comfortable, buy a nice big house, make sure that you have lots of stuff, and then enjoy yourself. Please just sit there and don't worry about a thing. We're called outside of ourself. When we get outside of ourself is when we really start understanding what this interaction is, what it means to be a Christian. Third, this comes from one of the Desert Fathers who left the institutional church about the 4th century, and they were so fed up with the church, they just went to the desert and lived in a cave. And so we have some of their writings that were recovered and put into collections. This was a saying from Abba Pohman. Father Pohman was asked once by a young novice, how do I become a monk? And he had a very simple answer. He said to this young man, he said, always ask in every situation, who am I? And judge no one. Always ask in every situation, who am I? And judge no one. Amazing, right? Isn't that what we all hope the church would be now? This was 1,500 years ago that this man sitting in a cave told this person about how to become a monk. It's not just how to become a monk, it's how to become a Christian. It's how to become someone who lives a full life, not in the church, but in the world. Everywhere you go, this is the calling that we have. Ask, who am I? And judge no one. Lastly, I think the way that we cultivate what it means to live out this new calling of gaining our sight is I go back to that quote from Einstein. Every day we must cultivate this sense of mystery, this sense of wonder, the sense of awe, because you cannot look out at the world and not come at it and say, this truly is amazing. It's mysterious. I don't understand all of it. I certainly don't know how it all works together and how it all fits. But it is beautiful in so many ways. God's creation calls us to be in relationship with that beauty, to step into that mystery, and to not feel like we have to explain everything. Sometimes people really, they confuse mysterious with magical. They think mystery is just another name for magic. That if you just again, do the right things, say the right words, put the right spells in place, good things will happen. It's not the way mystery works. Mystery calls us so far beyond who we are, so much further into this relationship with God that we have to step back and say, who am I? And then judge no one else for where they are on their journey. So in these 4 ways, I think that we can cultivate and continue this understanding of receiving our own sight and helping others to find this transformative light, this new vision that we take out into the world as Christians. Amen.